In the heart of Detroit, where visions of a revitalized riverfront inspired a community, one man quietly unraveled it all from the inside. William A. Smith, once trusted as the chief financial officer of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, has been sentenced to 19 years in federal prison.
A first look at the former CFO of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy leaving court less than an hour ago after learning his fate. He'll be spending close to 20 years in prison.
His crime, embezzling over $40 million from the very nonprofit he helped lead. For more than a decade, from 2011 to 2024, Smith carried out one of the most significant financial frauds in the region's history. In addition to prison, he must repay nearly $48 million and forfeit assets tied to the crime. Once seen as a key figure in Detroit's renewal, Smith is now a symbol of greed and betrayal. The Conservancy's mission was clear: to create a continuous public riverwalk stretching from the Ambassador Bridge to Gabriel Richard Park, an effort backed by both public funds and private donations. As CFO, Smith was entrusted with managing that funding, but instead of stewardship, he chose self-enrichment. According to federal prosecutors, Smith began his scheme in late 2012. He used three primary methods to divert Conservancy funds into his own pockets. First, he created a shell company, the Joseph Group, Inc., which never provided any services. Yet between 2013 and 2024, Smith funneled over $24 million into its bank account. Second, Smith used an American Express card tied to another company he controlled, William Smith and Associates, LLC. He used nearly $15 million in Conservancy funds to pay off charges on this account. His purchases included luxury travel, furniture, designer clothing, handbags, and home services. Third, he used Conservancy money to purchase cashier's checks from multiple banks, unauthorized and unrecorded. These checks were used for personal purposes with no oversight or board approval. But the deception didn't stop at theft. Smith actively covered his tracks. He altered bank statements to hide suspicious transfers, misled internal staff, and even forged board approval documents to open a $5 million line of credit. That credit was used to plug financial holes caused by his own fraud. The scale of this betrayal shocked the city. Acting U.S. Attorney Julie Beck described it as one of the worst economic crimes in recent memory. She said every dollar Smith spent on himself was a dollar taken from a community project, from a park, a trail, a family space that was never built. The FBI and IRS worked for years to uncover the full scope of Smith's crimes. Their findings revealed a man who had lived lavishly off money meant for the public. He took private jet trips, paid for luxury cruises, attended basketball games with front row seats, and surrounded himself with designer goods. IRS Special Agent Charles Miller put it plainly. He didn't just steal from a nonprofit. He stole from every Detroiter who would have walked that riverfront, played in those parks, or gathered in those public spaces. In the courtroom, Smith faced the consequences of his years of deception. He had enjoyed immense power over the Conservancy's finances and abused it fully. As the investigation revealed, he maintained complete control over bank accounts, used fake entities to launder money, and acted without internal checks for years. Now, with a nearly two-decade sentence behind bars, Smith's downfall is a cautionary tale. The Detroit Riverfront Conservancy survives, though deeply shaken. Its mission continues, but its momentum was stalled, its trust damaged. The money lost delayed countless improvements and robbed the city of what could have already been flourishing public spaces. The message is clear: even the most sophisticated schemes can unravel, and those who betray public trust will be held accountable. William A. Smith had a choice: use his power to build something lasting or abuse it for selfish gain. He chose the latter. And now, as he begins a long prison sentence, Detroit begins the harder work, rebuilding what was lost, both in trust and in time.